Good morning, North Bullitt Christian Church. My name's Keith, and we have exciting news for you this morning. This is our formal announcement that we will begin in-person worship gatherings beginning Sunday, May 24th. And so this is a video to present our guidelines for when we begin worshiping in person again on May 24th. Before I present those, I wanted to first off thank our staff leadership team, Greg, Terry, Karen, and Heidi, along with our elder team, Brian, Dennis, Donnie, Rick, and Steve, who have just poured into these guidelines and have helped formulate this plan for the safety, health, and well-being of our congregation. What also has been awesome is the sharing of information between other churches in our community. We've been able to pull and adapt from what other churches are thinking along with the government guidelines. And so we're so thankful for the unity that we've seen, not only in our church, but churches across Bullitt County. Awesome times. And then with that too, we want to encourage those who are in the most vulnerable group, whose immune system are compromised, or those who are just uneasy with this virus. If you continue to worship at home, that is okay. We have Facebook live streaming available for you during our 10:50 a.m. worship gathering. And so here's our plan for reopening here at North Bullitt Christian Church. We're a church, averages about 175, 180 people on a Sunday with a room capacity of 660. And with the governor's spacing guidelines, we are going to host 2 worship gatherings on Sunday mornings in order to ensure that everybody can distance within the auditorium space. And so those 2 times will be 9 a.m. and 10:50 a.m. Again, for you to be able to enjoy coming and worshiping in person. We're going to ask, there's going to be links provided, and we are asking a link for the 9 a.m., a link for the 10:50 a.m. gathering, that you click on one of those, whichever one you want to attend, and RSVP so that we can ensure that we have sufficient seating and space for each family that attends on Sunday mornings. Here are the guidelines for in-person worship gatherings. There will not be any other in-person activities hosted by North Bullitt Christian Church for the foreseeable future until things normalize here in the state of Kentucky and we receive guidelines from the governor encompassing those things. And also as a leadership team, we feel that it's safe enough for our church to resume other activities. Those activities include adult Sunday school, nursery, kids ministry, student ministry, sports ministry, community groups, the fellowship meal on Wednesday evenings, and Wednesday evening discipleship. Obviously, we have alternatives available for each of those sections. We have a discipleship class available on Wednesday evening by the Zoom app. There's some adult Sunday school classes meeting through Zoom, and kids ministry, student ministry has been doing a great job presenting video teaching each week, as well as student ministry has Zoom meetings scheduled for both junior high and high school students. So we still have those available for you moving forward. Again, we'd ask that you sign up for which gathering you're going to be coming to. This is not required. We're not going to turn you away if you show up that morning. It's just extremely helpful for us to set up the room and make sure that we have sufficient space. Chairs will be spaced to accommodate social distancing standards, so we ask that you not move chairs once you're in the room. They're set up a certain way to ensure that 6-foot radius around each family unit. We'll dedicate an area of the auditorium for those who are most vulnerable to this disease, so that would be those who are 60 years of age or older, or who have a compromised immune system. We ask that you refrain from handshakes, hugs, or physical contact with those outside of your family while you're gathering here for church. Communion will be provided. This is a little different. Communion will be provided as you enter the auditorium at the beginning of the service. You can pick up your communion. It'll be in a sealed container that you can just hold on to and keep with you until our response song at the end of the worship gathering. The auditorium is the only room that'll be open. We will have one room adjacent to the auditorium in the event that someone experiences symptoms of COVID during a worship gathering, that we can separate them out away from the rest of the crowd. Again, we ask that each person adhere to social distancing standards while in the parking lot and in the auditorium. Children will need to remain under the supervision of their parents. Note I want to add there, please, congregation, be gracious to our young families who have small children that are going to be sitting in a worship gathering. Babies may cry, kids may talk, that's okay. We love you guys. Don't feel the pressure, parents, to have to shush your kids every time they say something. It's part of having a family style worship gathering, and we are happy to have our family back together. Each congregant, we're asking that they take their temperature before they arrive on campus on Sunday morning. And if your temperature exceeds 100.5 degrees, to stay home and just watch on Facebook Live that day. We will also have thermometers available in the room. They're infrared thermometers, so they just scan your forehead to take your temperature if you need us to take your temperature while you're on campus. Only one person is allowed in the restroom at a time. That's per the state regulations. There will be a restroom monitor, and we're going to ask that you disinfect any surfaces that you touch while you're in the restroom. We'll have wipes available, and also that you wash your hands according to the CDC guidelines. Face masks will be required for adults while they're in the room. We are not going to require them for children. We'll leave that up to the discretion of parents. But all adults who are going to come and worship in person, we're asking that you wear a face mask while you're here on the campus. We do understand that there are those that have health issues related to having a face mask on. Obviously, we're not going to make you wear a face mask if you have a health concern with wearing a mask, and so you can still attend. And we'll assume that if someone is not wearing a face mask within the room, that they have some sort of health issue that's preventing them from doing so. We will have disposable masks available if you don't have one. We would ask that you bring your own mask in order to help save our supply, help us steward our supply, and save a little bit of money on spending on those. The gathering time will be shortened to about 45 to 50 minutes. I know that's hard to believe with me preaching, but I'm going to go shorter than I normally do. We'll have a few worship songs up front, preaching, and then one response song at the end. At the conclusion of the gathering, rows of sections will be dismissed, so you won't just stand on your own and walk out. We'll dismiss beginning with the back row and moving up towards the front in order to accommodate social distancing standards. After the room has been emptied, we will have a cleaning team in between those services that is going to disinfect the room, any handles or areas that people would touch. Now, more specifically, our welcome back strategy. This is kind of car to front door to auditorium to exiting back out to your car. These are the guidelines that we would like you to follow. We're going to have, again, 2 worship gathering times, 9 o'clock and 10:50. If you're attending the 9 o'clock gathering, we ask that you not enter the room until 8:50 a.m. And then for the 10:50 a.m. gathering, we would ask that you remain in your cars until our parking lot attendant comes out and excuses you and asks you to come into the worship gathering space. This is just to accommodate us being able to disinfect the room properly in between the worship gatherings. And again, Facebook live streaming is going to continue to be available during 10:50 a.m. Greeters will assist you with opening doors, and we'll probably have the doors propped so you won't have to touch them as you enter. While entering the auditorium, we're asking from your car to walking into the auditorium, and then while you're in your seats, maintain social distancing, which is 6 feet radius around your family unit. You'll be given directions once you enter the auditorium from an usher on where to sit. Again, we'll have that section designated for those most vulnerable, and then we'll have a section for other folks. It'll all be distanced. It's going to look odd and weird. Your normal seat's not going to be there because the seats are going to be spaced out. There'll be a camera in the middle of the room for a Facebook live stream, and so it's going to be a little bit different as you come in that first week. The auditorium, again, will be cleaned after each gathering. All Bibles, offering envelopes, connect cards, and bulletins will not be available. Everything will be electronic, so we're going to send out the bulletin as we have been in an email on Friday that you can follow along. And then we'll have the sermon points and the song lyrics available for you on our screens that morning. We will not be passing offering plates while we gather. For the foreseeable future, we'll have a offering box available near the exit entry door. As you leave, you can drop your offering in there, or as you enter the room, you can drop your offering in that. And we would encourage you with that to give online through our website, northbulletcc.org/giving. You can mail your gift into the church, or you can bring it by and drop it off during office hours as well. There's a note I wanted to add to that. Our leadership team, our elders, we want to thank you. from the bottom of our heart. Our church has been so generous to us and has funded our ministry and our mission. We haven't had to make any tough decisions. We've been able to fund our missionaries around the globe and continue our ministry to the community. And that's because of your generosity. And so we thank you for that. As you enter in, prepackaged communion will be available for you to pick up. There'll be a table. It'll be spaced out on that table. You can pick up what you need for your family. There'll be an attendant there to help you with that as well. We ask that you remain seated once in the auditorium, meaning that we don't really want you to move around the room, obviously, because we want to maintain social distancing. And obviously, when we sing, you can stand during that time, but we want you to stay in your area of space. Leaving the auditorium, at the end, you'll be dismissed per row, beginning with the back row, and we ask that you leave in a timely fashion so it allows us sufficient time to disinfect the room for our next worship gathering. And then ushers will be at the door to make sure you don't have to touch the door handles or anything as you exit that morning. A few things to remember. If you are in the most vulnerable group, we want to encourage you, stay home, watch on Facebook Live. We love you, we want to see you, but we also care about your health and your well-being, and so we're going to have that option available for you. If you are uncertain about this virus and you're not comfortable being out in public, being around other people, stay home and watch on Facebook Live. That's completely understandable. Again, we love you. We want you to be comfortable, and so you can continue to watch online until things normalize a little bit more in the future. If you are sick, stay home. Don't come to church. Please, if your temperature is elevated, stay home. If you're experiencing symptoms of COVID, please stay home and just watch on Facebook Live. There will be no childcare during the services, so you make sure you keep your children with you at all times. And then again, we're offering touchless giving, so you can give just online, northbulletcc.org/giving. You can mail, drop off your offering at the office during the week. We thank you for your generosity. With this too, I'm so excited. I'm excited to get back. I'm excited to preach to people sitting in a room and seeing your faces. I wish I could give you a hug, but I can't. And miss you. We're almost there. We're almost back to getting back in person. And so I look forward to seeing you all in person May 24th, Sunday, May 24th at 9 or 10:50. And then don't forget to RSVP to the worship gathering that you'll be attending that day. If you have any other questions, send us an email, info@northbulletcc.org. We can answer those questions for you, or message us on Facebook. Whichever way you can reach out, we want to help you walk through getting back to church together with us. So have a great week, and we'll see you soon.